There is a program in Portland called Clean Energy Works that embodies exactly these ideas, and the Oregon State Legislature has now created a statewide strategy to do the same, but we need a national strategy to do this. And there are two close cousins of this. One is the Rural Energy Savings Bill, and this is to work with electric co-ops so they can do 3% loans. And the other is the Industrial Energy Savings Program. Senator Sherrod Brand is introducing that today. Some of you may know it as the 48C program, and I'm proud to co-sponsor that as well. But Homestar and Building Star can generate 350,000 jobs over the next 2 years and save $4 billion a year in energy costs. That's energy savings is a gift that keeps on giving. So we have a challenge. A challenge should be, as you talk to legislators on the Hill, that the Senate passes Homestar and Building Star by Memorial Day so that this can be on the President's desk and put into action by Labor Day. How am I doing on time? Okay. Okay, I've got a couple minutes left, so I want to talk about generation. I want to see us generate non-carbon power here in America, both because it's right for the environment and it's right for building the American economy. Oregon has potential in wind and wave and geothermal and solar. Various parts of the country have different types of potential. Oregon also has enormous potential in biomass. And I want to mention this for a moment because often biomass isn't talked about in the same breath. But if you think about the carbon dioxide challenge in our environment, I was talking about this a couple years ago, and a woman said to me, "Wouldn't it be great, Jeff, if we just had machines that would take carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere?" And I said to her, "You'll be happy to know we grow millions of those in Oregon." And if you take and you have the sort of sustainable harvest, you get a win-win because we have millions of acres of overgrown second growth forests, untended. It's bad for the environment. It is bad for timber. And so it can be thinned if there is an economic end use for those thinnings. And right now, the reason they're unthinned is because nobody can afford to pay for it. But if we can produce both cogeneration at one end of the biomass spectrum as one way to create energy, and you can capture 80% of the energy, you're pulling carbon dioxide out of the air, and it's a loop with not bringing more coal and oil out of the ground. And there's also potential on biofuels, and starting June 1st, there will be construction of the first commercial biofuel operation in Oregon, which will use a cycle involving the harvesting of poplar trees. So to mention that, wind. In Oregon right now, the Department of Defense, through that conversation I mentioned a few minutes ago, just approved the construction of a Shepherd's Flats is the name of it, wind project. That one project will have the potential of 800 megawatts. Now, for comparison, the Boardman coal-fired plant in Oregon is 613 megawatts. So that shows wind is a serious, serious player. And in addition to Shepherd's Flats, we have an additional 1,900 megawatts that will be under construction this year for a total of 2,700. That's a serious part of the puzzle. And if we combine that renewable energy with end use in electric cars or replacing coal-powered, et cetera, we have a real positive cycle. Well, I want to conclude by saying we need to seize this moment to build things in America. The motto for our green energy, green job strategy needs to be made in America. When we're building Shepherd's Flats, we're using turbines from General Electric. We want to see America building turbines and shipping in the world. We want to see American intellectual capital being shipped to the world because this is a factor that can produce a lot of living wage jobs, a lot of union jobs, a lot of foundation for our families. And I'm going to tell you, if we look at the broad history of the last several decades, the wages of working families plateaued in 1974. That was the year that I came out of high school. We've had tremendous increase in productivity over those decades, but working families are not benefiting. And part of the reason is so much of our production is shifted overseas. So let us seize this moment with this potential in solar and wind and wave and geothermal and biomass to build in America and ship our products overseas. If I could leave you with one thing, it's this. As you go out on the Hill to talk, you may be thinking about, well, there's going to be all other sorts of components of this dialogue. There'll be White House press conferences, there'll be ads on cable TV, and so forth. And that's true. There will be a lot of in the conversation. But the most important element in this dialogue to getting something done in Congress is all of you. The person-to-person communication. And I certainly encourage you to not be shy, to simply say, this is about creating jobs. This is about American companies having additional potential to manufacture and sell things to the world. This certainly is as well about being good stewards of our planet, and both are important, and let's get it done together, and thank you very much.